I don't know. Usually we just start.
Yeah, so let's do that this time around. It's Anime Book Club, episode 122, I believe. I forgot to double check, but we'll
Yeah.
just say it's 122.
It's impossible to
Um,
check because Brennan hasn't uploaded the last like 9 fucking episodes.
I could upload them now, honestly. They're all done. I just
We,
didn't.
we've uploaded like all of 4 from last season. Like most of last season hasn't even gone up at this point.
All but one is up.
No.
Yeah, it is.
You have 4 episodes from last season.
Yeah, we didn't meet a lot last season.
Did we really not?
Yeah, we had to skip a lot of weeks. But anyways,
I feel like I've watched one of the episodes recently and it was like we were talking about shit from like the beginning of the show.
well, we'll see. Anyways,
I guess maybe we
episode,
just talked about a bunch at the end. I don't remember.
yeah, episode 122. We're here to talk about episode 7, I believe, 7 of each of our shows.
Probably.
Yeah, of Dr. Stone to Infinity and Jakuchara.
Yeah.
Let's start with Dr. Stone, Nick, because that's actually the easiest to go on about, mostly
Hmm.
because it's just Chrome escaping, and
Right.
all the little problems he finds when trying to escape.
Yeah.
It's a fun little episode. I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
Um,
Because we basically get from beginning to end the escape of Chrome, where we set up. We already had some of the setup in terms of like there are pitfall traps, and he's stuck in this cave. We did learn the whole cave thing we were talking about last time. Like we finally learned the layout
it's
of the
double
cave.
ended. Yeah, he's like stuck in
Right.
this little cage.
He's at like an L, like a L point in this cave, and so there is 2 bamboo gates essentially.
I guess this is more of a
Um,
window. There's more of a
I guess
window
so.
bamboo
Mhm.
thing, and then the actual gate itself, which is
Right.
guarded. Well, they're both ends are guarded, but one has like the actual door has a guard sitting there.
Right. But yeah, we get to see Chrome as he has to now like think of his own scientific plan, remembering that like when we started this out, he was all like colorful fire and shit like that,
Yeah,
and
he's a
magnets or compass. Or it was
was
magnets.
no, he talks about a compass.
Yeah, he uses a piece of ferrous iron to create a compass. He doesn't understand what it is, but he can make one. Um. So yeah, it's it's an inventive little episode in terms
But
of like
it's
yeah, in terms of trying to like create and like build up how Chrome sort of thinks. Because first he sort of falls back on his own his old faithful of like I'm gonna go collect sticks and shit, and he
gonna
like
make
collects a
some
whole bunch of
fire.
plants, and then like looks at what he's collected. He's like, "Fuck, this is all fucking useless."
This is all garbage. He gets some sorrel, which he finds a 4-leaf clover in there. He
Hmm.
gets like this one dried like spongy flower material. It's like a flower. I don't know what it's called, but
He gets some
it's red.
dandelions.
Some
Yeah, he gets
dandelions.
some red, like I think it's like shisho or something.
Yeah, sticks and sticks and branches basically. And his first thought is, I'll try to make some fire. It's really hard to make fire by rubbing 2 sticks together. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And he isn't able to do it. But at night, somebody comes by and then casually just drops him the battery that he had at the beginning of this uh, mission, basically
Adventure, right?
adventure. That's the word I was looking for. The adventure, which he used to like start the fire in the shrubs.
Right.
The morning he
He,
wakes up, he finds that he has the battery. He thinks it's Yuzuriha and Yuzuriha's
Taiju.
boyfriend Taiju, who give it to him. Who both look very, very glowing,
Different.
different
Right.
in his interpretation, his mind.
Yeah. Because he's never seen them before, so he doesn't know what they actually look like.
Yeah, he's got pretty close though.
Taiju looked a little bit
Shockingly
like
close.
Senku with brown hair.
Like,
Because
oh
he
yeah.
had like the hair went straight up and he had like two little things that come down in front a la Senku. It was
Oh,
the
okay.
face was not reminiscent as well. It was really just the hair. The hair was very similar to Senku's hair.
The clothes too.
Kind of, yeah.
He's thinking something, but obviously it's not him. It wasn't them. It's the fucking Bo Kid.
Probably.
Yeah. 'Cause
Unless
he's
somebody
up,
else, unless we're gonna meet another character all of a sudden, it's probably the Bo Kid.
yeah. Because obviously he's the one that had the battery to begin with. Because he's the one that actually took him in.
And we already
But
know that he's up to some sus shit with telling him
Yeah,
like,
he
oh yeah, I
is.
just found him wandering around over by the cave. Definitely wasn't doing anything suspicious with the phones or anything.
fucking Chrome, fucking idiot, didn't
Right.
even just know to like call her.
Who was on his
Yeah,
side.
to connect it.
Right.
Um. So he tries
But
to use the battery
yeah,
to.
he gets the battery in the middle
Yeah.
of the night. His first thought is, I'm gonna set this fucking gate on fire, because that's a
Was
good
it at
idea to
night?
do an
Oh, it
excuse.
wasn't at. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
at night.
still in the middle of the night. And he
Yeah.
sets the gate on fire in the enclosed space that he's standing in. Like, this is the worst idea. So,
I mean,
like,
it's an idea.
even if he set the gate on fire, he would probably die of smoke inhalation.
I mean, it's a really big hole. I don't think he would.
I mean, yeah, but the smoke's gonna go up into like the fucking enclosed space of the cave. Do you think just because there's an opening in the cave, it's gonna like somehow be ventilated? Like, there's nothing blowing the smoke out
It
necessarily.
could be like a draft
Maybe.
because it is like a really big little system. Fucking wild that they ended up like they had like the best fucking spawn point ever. But I digress.
Yeah.
Um,
We got the high ground,
yeah.
fucking limited points of access. I mean, it is an ideal fucking defensive location, and they're somehow gonna lose this war.
But anyways, everyone sees the fucking sparks because it's fucking nighttime
Yeah.
and light pollution isn't a thing yet. So fucking cop, which we'll get into a bit later.
Oh yeah.
Beats the shit out of Chrome and pushes him back. Chrome intelligently plays dumb that he was just using sticks again to try and start the fire. That's where the spark came from, and not the fact
Right.
that he has a battery because everyone thinks that the science team are a bunch of primitives.
Yeah.
God damn it, it's so fucking.
I do like that was their insult where they were like, "You rub two sticks together to make fire," and I'm like, "Bitch,
Bitch, you do the
motherfucker!"
fucking same!
Literally, last episode, Tsukasa was like, I'm not afraid of using science. We create fire." Like, that was your example of you're using science, and now you're using it to shame somebody else. That's literally the level you're at. Let's not get ahead of ourselves right now.
God damn it.
Fucking
It's a little
Christ.
inconsistent with this, but God, I fucking hate these like side characters, or not side characters. They're like fucking grunts. These fucking grunts.
Right. Because, like, I understand, like, the whole mentality of it is, like, they're acknowledging, like, oh, yeah, we know a lot about science. Like, we're from the modern age. But at the same time, like, the
not
society
using
you're
any of it.
currently living in is that level. Like, you guys are the fucking stone civilization.
Not even. It's worse.
Just because you know what a cell phone is doesn't make you somehow fucking smart. You don't
It
have
doesn't
them.
give you a fucking cell phone.
Right.
So he keeps
the other
battery.
thing. So, this doesn't really come up, but it's a comment made by Tsukasa at one point, I think, where like he's predicting, that they're gonna get attacked
Oh, yeah,
by the car, and he mentioned something about like a bombardment by steam car or something like that, and I was like, wait a second, like the word bombardment at the very least. I was like, why didn't you just think of like the fact that Senku's created gunpowder? Why do you not then associate that with he could very possibly just legit mortar us?
I thought he
Like-
did. Wasn't that part of the bombardment comment?
No, he didn't. Like, at no point did he think they were going to get bombarded by explosives.
Oh,
It was literally just like, we're going to get like the word bombardment was just in relation to like getting attacked by the car.
Oh, okay.
There was no like expectation of like we're going to get fucking mortared. And I was like, that would actually be way more of a threat than getting attacked by a car. Like, if you think he has gunpowder, you should absolutely be shitting your fucking britches about like he could legit post up like fucking 1,000 meters from here and just shell the shit out of us.
Well, no, according to the show, he can't have gunpowder because he doesn't have the cave.
Right, I keep forgetting
Yeah.
that.
Whether or not he can make gunpowder right now or not,
Absolutely can.
he can.
100%.
As part of the logic of the show, he cannot. So that's
Okay.
not an issue, at least for Tsukasa. But anyways, back to what's going on with Chrome. That night, he as he's trying to reveal that, as he's trying to figure out what to do, he figures out that he can create an acid by heating up salt water and then using
Hydrochloric
that
acid.
Hydrochloric acid. Was it? I thought it was like sodium something acid. Anyways, he can use that acid to melt the rope, melt the steel beams, and set himself free. So he doesn't have access to salt water, but he does have access to his body and a bunch of other water too. We don't really get into
Yes.
why he has water, but I guess Scott's army isn't
I mean,
that
he's a
bad. They're
prisoner.
getting
You're allowed to have
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
They're not that bad. So he just starts doing a bunch of exercises and trying to use his sweat. Eventually, he has enough. So he just starts to use electrolysis Is that what? Yeah, electrolysis,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah.
electrolysis.
To make the acid, he makes it. He hides it, and then he douses it on the little ropes, which break apart because that's what happens when you meet it with an acid.
Hmm.
We find out that it's not actually that a little bit later, but he's able to
Yep.
start, running away. He's made his escape. Well, he started to make his escape now, and he is now off to go help out Senku, off
Right.
in like the fucking wherever
He's
Suzuki
off
came
to
from.
guess where Senku is living currently.
But not without a quick chase scene with Cop and Chrome, where he goes up to the waterfall that
The waterfall
he
that he was about to get dropped off of before, and he basically realizes like, I can't fucking fight this dude because I'm weak as shit. And so instead he just coughs up a bunch of blood and he's like, haha, bitch motherfucker, I've got pneumonia and now you've got it too.
Oh
Bleh!
god, I'm dying. I thought
Welcome to
pneumonia was an
not having
infection.
fucking.
Is it a
I mean,
bacterial infection? Like, can you
I
catch
think it is a
pneumonia from
bacterial
someone?
infection. I think so. I
Okay.
think so. Because they cure it with antibiotics. So it
Yeah.
has to be
Okay.
some sort of bacterial infection.
Okay, so it is catchable then, or possibly catchable. I've
Right.
never heard of pneumonia being catchable. I've always heard like you develop pneumonia because of some other illness, but
Right.
it's not like you've caught pneumonia from someone. And also, I don't think pneumonia makes you cough up blood. That right there, that's the consumption, Chrome. It's
Yeah, that would
consumption
be tuberculosis.
TB, which
Very
also is
different
highly
disease.
contagious too.
Highly contagious. I think that was also when they were making the drugs, because we were calling it penicillin, but it wasn't penicillin that they made. They made some actual drug because penicillin's a mold and is decently easy to make if you can find penicillium.
Just get some melons.
But when they were trying to like diagnose what disease Ruri had, Senku basically said like, if she has TB, she's fucked. Like the thing we made can't cure TB. It can only cure bacterial infections.
Oh, I thought TB was also like a bacteria. I guess it's virus.
I think it's a virus.
Okay. Well, who knows? Doctors probably know, but we don't. So let's just
Right.
move on from that.
Or maybe it's a
Anyways-
difference between like gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria, because there's also like differences in bacteria.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, he starts coughing up blood or pretending to cough up blood. He throws it at I forget his name.
So
Let's just call him Cop. So
no,
so
Yo. I'm sorry, Yo. It was Yo.
Yo. Okay.
I knew he had a dumb two-letter name, and it was no, it was Yo.
He coughs it into Yo and says, you've got the sickness now. And in the middle of him freaking out, Chrome grabs his pole and then just smacks him in the testes with it,
Right.
right in the hot spots. And so he just runs away and makes it to Senku's encampment. And now
The
they don't have
first
to
rules
risk.
of fighting a dude, you go for the balls. And if you can't
just
go
say
for the
it's
balls, you
fucking
go for the balls of the face, which is the throat.
He makes it to Senku's army. He tells him how he escaped by using the acid. Chrome, or not Chrome, but Senku tells him, hey, that was an acid, that was actually base, you made bleach.
Yeah.
And then he tells him about, he shows him like the trick of like coughing up blood,
Right.
which is like some weird like pickling juice in Japan.
Yeah, he chewed up the sorrel with like the red leaf to create like a red liquid.
Yeah.
That's apparently was used to make the pickled plums.
So
Which
probably
begs
kind
the
of
question why, like, when he spit it in that dude's face, the dude wasn't like, "This isn't fucking blood. It smells nothing like blood.
Well,
It
he
smells
was
like
afterwards. He
weird
was,
pickle stuff."
Afterwards, he like tasted it, it's like, and he did know that it was the pickle stuff.
Right. I guess yeah. In the moment, he was like, "It might be blood," and then got nailed in the fucking crotch and didn't
Yeah.
have time to really think logically for a while.
But yeah, that's the episode. We basically get nothing except for Chrome and Yo, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
We get some of Yo's backstory in which he's a cop so bad that other cops end up firing him.
Right. This is the Japanese police force. Let's,
And also Scott's
Oh.
like, this guy is 100% A-okay. He
Right.
is not going to abuse weapons at all, whatsoever. No siree.
Yeah.
He's the
I
guy
did like-
want.
So I wanted to look this up because like it's fair to say that like the whole Black Lives Matter anti-police movement was not just like an America thing. It was like a fairly international thing over the course of like the last
There
year.
are like pieces in, I know like the biggest, or the second biggest was like happening in England, Britain.
Yeah.
I think there were small demonstrations in Japan, mostly from expats, I think.
And like Lewis Hamilton raced with Black Lives Matter shirts like the whole F1 season, and that's like a really international sport. So like It
Is he
got
British?
international like he is British, yes.
Okay.
He is the only African American F1 driver ever, and yeah, he is British.
He's a Brit. Did you say African American?
I did say African American. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was incorrect of me. Yeah. I'm really bad at that.
African American for Britain.
I fuck that up. I fuck that up all the time with black people who are not from America. I still am like, they're African American, right? They're not. If they're not African, then they're African Americans. That's how that works, right? Right? Uh-huh. He will soon be Sir Lewis Hamilton. He's getting knighted
Oh,
soon.
good night. That's awesome.
Yeah. But no, I wanted to look it up because like it was a fairly international like, movement this time around. Like a lot of people saw it from like all around the globe.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to look up like how was Yo presented in the manga, because like we got the like not the backstory to Yo, but like we saw one of his cases where like he broke in while some dudes were doing some like bribery shit with like a politician possibly, and like he went to arrest him and one fucking ran away and he shot the dude in the back. And so I wanted to look at the manga because like sometimes there's differences between like the anime and the manga, how they want to change how like certain things are depicted. In the manga, they don't have his backstory at all. There's literally just like a one panel cutaway, which is him in the interrogation room where he's like, the dude was running away, so I shot him in the back. What's the big deal? And like that's the only thing you see about Yo is him like admitting to shooting a dude in the back. And I'm like, I feel like I know it wasn't a big deal in Japan, like not as much as it was in America, but at the same time, like something about the international like acknowledgement of what's been going on, they were probably like, we can't just do this like by itself. Like we cannot get away with this character just being like, I'm a police dude who just shot a dude in the back because he was a criminal. Fuck yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Tsukasa once again, perfect judge of character. Besides that, a cop who abuses his power is perfect for his fucking side.
Yeah.
Tsukasa, you fucking idiot. At least fucking like the Sonar kid, has good hearing and is not an awful dick.
Right.
There's like the one chick.
The
guard,
I don't want to
she's
call
kind of
her
a
the
nice
prostitute, but like she
prostitute?
is.
Oh, I'm talking about the guard.
Oh, the guard, yeah.
The one we
Right,
actually interacted with.
Right.
Yeah, she's like a good person. The prostitute, yeah, is a prostitute.
I feel bad like calling her that, but like the one other time we've seen her, she was just like fucking lounging around while other people were like doing stuff, and people like came back with a board. She's like, "Hello, boys," and they were like, "We're gonna give you this board for free," and she's just like, "Hello, my life is so good," and I'm like, "This girl's a fucking hoe."
Just hoeing around. She's probably like, I don't see her in. I think she's just like a side character they have added on. She's like not one of the lieutenants, at least that I can notice. I think the only two girls are gymnastic kid and the guard.
Right. I wonder if they're all gonna come to the side of Senku at the end of this war, and like we're gonna see more of her later on, or if she's just sort of gonna become like a character we don't talk about ever again.
Maybe, but okay, let's talk about the fucking grunts mentioning that the Senku side is primitive motherfuckers, and they're actively digging pits to stop a car from ramming into them. And they're saying like, yeah, you fucking idiot. You don't know what fucking like shit is. We know what shit is. That's why we have a car and you guys don't.
Right.
God damn it, so fucking frustrating. These guys are idiots.
You guys barely understand that twigs rub together. If you rub twigs together quickly, you can make fire. By the way, finish building those anti-vehicle traps. Don't want to get run over by a fucking tank.
By a fucking well, it's more like a Humvee now.
It is more like a Humvee now. We still haven't put the fucking turret on the front, but still, like,
Jesus Christ.
It is agonizing that they're like the grunt guards are so like wrapped up in their like we know shit about science that they don't put like two and two together to think like we're digging these anti-vehicle traps and like fucking shitting on them because we're fucking animals. Maybe we should just join the side of the dude with the car. Like that feels like an upward motion right there.
I keep saying this every fucking episode. The best PSYOP plan is just talk about air conditioning.
Right.
Like, fuck everything else. Like, you just get air conditioning. That's all you want.
Central heating. Fucking, I cannot, like, overstate the importance of antibiotics. Like, anything you've ever heard about, like, how like, life was back in the Middle Ages, it's always stuff where it's like, and then the Black Plague, came through and killed fucking everybody. Like, any sort of infectious disease just fucks up, like, an entire town at a time.
Yeah.
Somebody caught tuberculosis in town? Well, time to die, I guess.
Yep. You gotta take that social distancing to a fucking to the fucking
Yeah,
max.
right.
There ain't no fucking anti-maskers back then, unless you actively wanted to die
Right.
or
I mean,
get
there was
fucking
there was a
scabs.
reason.
Like,
Yeah, the people who dealt with the fucking Black Plague wore those huge ass bird masks with like a fuck ton of what the fuck were they called? Persimmon? Not persimmons.
it was basically a
Posies. They
pussy.
had
Okay.
fucking poses in those things. They had those huge ass masks because like that was the level of like if you got Black Plague, you were just fucked. Like you were just out and out fucked
Yeah.
in those days. If you got Black Plague, it was like, well, you're fucked. Go die over there.
It is kind of interesting because they like mentioned that they were wearing those masks because like they didn't want the bad air around them, which is kind of like true of like how at
Mhm.
least airborne plagues are like contracted. So like they weren't wrong.
Yeah.
Didn't have the whole picture, so like they were they were working with what they got.
Yeah.
Was it the Black Plague where like you got scabs blown up your nose? Or was that something else?
I don't remember.
But there was like an infectious disease that like a plague that happened, and that was a like inoculation procedure for it. Was whoever
Yeah.
like died or had it, like you pick off their scabs, grind it into dust,
Mhm.
and just blow up someone's nose.
Yeah. Which again, like, they're not getting it exactly right, but like they've got the spirit of vaccinations
I mean,
where
it
like
worked.
if you wait it out, I mean, the whole theory behind it at least.
I think
I,
it
I
worked at
shouldn't
least.
say
Well,
I shouldn't say the theory behind it because like they didn't know what actually they were doing, but
yeah,
like the principle they were exploiting is the fundamental thing in vaccinations of the weakened virus.
yeah,
So basically, you waited out until the person died and their body like stopped being able to support the virus host, so it couldn't like replicate and grow and survive because like the cell just wasn't alive anymore. All of your cells die really fast when your body dies. Um, and so once the virus cell starts to weaken, when you picked off the scab, ground it up, and then blew it up somebody's nose, it was a it was a weakened virus particle, but it was still the virus particle. So it was easier to defeat and therefore easier to develop immunity against. So like it was a very primitive version of vaccinations.
right. And then inoculations didn't come until I think the late 1800s.
It took a while.
Yeah.
It took a
Well,
while before we actually understood what vaccination was.
fun fact: I think vaccine comes from the name for the Latin name for cow because we used I think one of the first vaccines we developed from a cow, from an infected cow, I believe.
I think that's how we did a lot of vaccines back then was we infected animals with it and then
Yeah,
took
I
their
know. I
immune
think we used
response.
horses for a lot of them too, horses
Mhm.
and cows, probably sheep too. But anyways, yeah, best side up. Just give them air conditioning or say, hey, if you get sick, we've got medicine. We've got a CVS,
Right.
and then bim bam boom. But no, these guys are fucking idiots, and they want to continue acting like goddamn monkeys.
Right.
Ugh.
It's gonna be weird when like we win the war and half these dudes come over to our side and they're like, "Yeah, we're on your side now." We suddenly understand the importance of centralized heating. Like, all this is good, and we should have just joined you from the beginning.
We're just followers. We're doing what we're told.
Right. Oh God. Um, but otherwise, it was sort of an interesting episode because this is the first time in like 2 or 3 episodes now where we've had like proper science, or at least proper science that I understand being done. Because we had the electrolysis of salt water, and it's interesting in that like you can't really do what Chrome did. Like it's not super possible. It sort of is hard to like properly put a how impossible it is on it because so basically with electrolysis the whole point of it is that you're using electricity to decompose what's in the water.
Right,
And
turn into
so
hydrogen and oxygen.
right, turn it into hydrogen and oxygen,
Or
and with the
gas.
salt to break it up into sodium and chloride ions. And so the basic principle in terms of making sodium hypochlorite, what they were making, sodium hypochlorite is NaClO. So as you're breaking up all of the components of the sodium chloride and the water, the oxygen, the chlorine, and the sodium will form like a loose enough attachment, and everything else will boil off. So when you run the electric current through it, what you're left with is like kind of a base. I mean, there'll still be some water in it. It depends on how long you run it for, but like it will be a base. It'll be bleach. Um,
Oh, but you don't have enough salt in the water to make like basically just pure bleach enough to
Yeah. And that's actually the
melt
problem
the
with
rope.
it. Yeah. With doing it with your sweat is that like the concentration of
It's
salt
probably
in your
mostly
sweat
water.
is mostly water and not nearly enough salt in order for that to work. A lot of that would actually just boil off and turn into chlorine gas, which is also the very dangerous thing about what he was doing was that he was doing it directly over it. That chlorine turns into chlorine gas, and chlorine gas will fucking kill you. It probably wasn't at high enough concentration to actually be hazardous to him, but like realistically, don't ever do that because like it is really fucking dangerous. But you can actually do that to make bleach. You have to use really salty water though. You have to use like almost entirely dissolved salt water, like fully dissolved salt, fully
Like half and half.
as concentrated as possible. I don't think you can do half and half. It's like I think the maximum concentration in of water of salt in water is like 24% weight by volume. I think
Okay.
is like the saturation point for salt in water.
Oh, all right. Because there's only like there's only like a set number, a set amount
Yeah, a set amount.
of stuff that can dissolve, and it
Yeah,
depends on the actual like stuff itself. Like I think
yeah.
it's
It depends
higher
on
for
like
sugar,
how
lower than sugar.
mhm, of how like when it separates into ions, like how
Okay.
stable they are as ions, like how much stabilization they require from like the water. Um, and so in the case of salt, I don't remember where it is exactly, but I think it's somewhere around like 25% weight by volume is the saturation point. Um, and so for making sodium hypochlorite through electrolysis, it takes like close to saturation point amounts of salt in order for it to like properly work to get
Some
like enough
salty sweat.
yeah to get enough bleach to be like effective. So realistically what Chrome did probably wouldn't work. It might work enough to melt some like pieces of rope. It's hard to say. Like they were just little tiny bits of rope, so maybe it could have been pulled off. But he definitely was not making like pure sodium hypochlorite at all. He was making some fairly dilute sodium hypochlorite for sure. But that is actually the science of how it works. It has to do with yeah, you're splitting it all up and then the little bit that stays in the water in the liquid does actually form sodium hypochlorite and everything else will boil off, turns into gas.
Don't breathe it in.
Don't breathe it in. And don't do it with water either, even though it turns into hydrogen and oxygen. It's still very dangerous because you know, hydrogen will fucking explode. You can actually separate off the hydrogen too. I don't remember how, but if you do electrolysis of pure water, you can actually separate the oxygen and the hydrogen, and then
Doesn't that just normally happen with hydrolysis?
yes, they'll separate based on the cathode and the anode, the two pieces of electric wire you put in there. Oxygen will gather around the
Oh,
positive side, and hydrogen will gather around the negative side.
cool.
So if you separate them with like a barrier in between them, but like not a full barrier, like the water isn't separated, but like the air is separated in between, like between the two anode and the cathode, you can actually create like pure oxygen and pure hydrogen, and then you can blow up all the oxygen. It's really fucking fun.
Yeah. Well, you can't you like also blow up the hydrogen? Well, no, because like you would need oxygen to fuel the fire or fuel the explosion, right?
I think so.
Okay. I think hydrogen is
Uh,
like small enough where it like can seep through metal, can't it? I think that's one problem
I
they
mean, it
had
is
with
really
like
fucking small. It's proton and electron.
yeah.
Yeah, hydrogen is not fucking large in any way, shape, or form.
I think I remember hearing like that's the problem with like water as fuel for like a car basically is that the hydrogen like once you split it off would like just seep through the metal.
I believe it. Especially with hydrogen in water, because hydrogen in water is just H plus, so it's just a fucking
Yeah.
proton.
Ugh. Well, that's fun science talk.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about with Doc Stone?
No, not really.
Then guess what time it is?
Trying
It's
to
the
talk
tournament
about one
arc.
of the other two.
Well,
Okay.
actually, it's pre-tournament arc, Skinfinity.
Skinfinity.
Yeah, we're setting up some drama. We're setting up some drama this episode.
Right.
Um,
We got Edgelord episode that like kind of took a turn right at the end where I was like, I'm kind of okay with this ending. But the rest of it, I was like, this is boring and I don't like it that
oh, you
much.
like it? I liked it because it
Yeah.
was it was setting up the drama between both our main characters, and it's gonna like be good for their friendship if it goes well.
See, the one reason I
Um,
didn't like it was because we already did this
last episode.
with
Sorry,
Mia. No, with
with
Mia.
me. Oh,
We did like Mia's whole like
yeah, we did something very
nobody was my
similar.
friend because I got too good and everybody left me, and now we're doing like the same thing but just between red hair and
Well,
Langa, and I'm like,
well, now we're
I don't
focusing
care.
on the other side of it.
I mean, but still, like we already did this. It's so like you know, it's so counter to the whole point that like red hair was making when he was like, it doesn't matter that I'm worse than you at skateboarding. Like we're still your fucking friends. Say you're my homie. Like that was their whole thing at the end of Mia's episode. Was red hair was like, we're even though I'm a slime, I'm your slime. We're friends forever. Friendship power. And now like
Yeah, and
we're
now
just
he's
doing
letting
the
the
same
jealousy get to
thing.
him.
I mean, but like. It's just not interesting because like we already did it. We already did this. Let's do something else. Let's just not do this. Like I said, at the end, at the very end of the episode, I was okay with it again because it was framed not in the context of like you're good at skateboarding and I'm bad and I feel bad about that, but actually instead was like you're gonna go fucking skate against Adam, the dude who put me in the fucking hospital and like is a crazy motherfucker, and like you want to skate him because it's exciting. Like that's fucking loco, dude. You are outside your fucking mind. I'm like, I'm okay with this. Like, this is a legit issue to have with Longa doing this. The whole like you're good at skating and I'm salty about it is like I don't really care. I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. I want to do something fun.
I think it's still fine. Um, because I believe in the show, Nick. I believe in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at least hopefully it'll do it well enough. I do like both. I like both pieces of this arc-ish. Yeah, of this arc, where one
Okay.
is where Red Hair is worried about Langa. That's a like as you said, a very real worry to have because Adam is a fucking freak.
Yeah.
Um, I also like that the jealousy is there because we see that he was having fun, but now like he's starting to get a lot of jealousy. He's the jealousy is starting to get to him, and I believe what's going to end up happening is he's still going to be bad. He's still going to be worse than Lenga, but he's
Mhm.
going to at some point get over the jealousy, and probably even get a little bit better himself, but not as good as Lenga, or Snow, or Langley, or whatever we've been calling him.
Right.
Um, and I kind of like the mopey nature of the episode. I just kind of liked it. I didn't feel like it was boring or like I didn't want it. Um,
I mean, I don't think it was boring. I liked that it was like the progression of it, where like it started out where he was like
yeah, they did.
concerned, and then like he got like wrapped up in his head for one day, but
Yeah,
he was like he still was like we're still friends. Like I'm just wrapped up in my own head. Like it's just a me thing. Like I can get past this.
I like the
And
parallels
then
between the first half and the second half, where you see. Well, it's not really parallel. Well, it's a parallel because they basically have the same scenes occur. One before he like he's gotten wrapped up in himself, and afterwards, where
Mhm.
he's letting it get to his friendship with him.
Right.
And then we see like the kind of the height of that, where he's really trying to do the jump that we see at the beginning of the episode, where Langley has a little ramp, jumps up, and like touches a star under a
Mhm.
bridge, and we see Reiki do the same thing, but he can't. He just can't reach it.
Yeah.
Very on the nose.
Yeah. You
um,
don't say.
and now like he's starting to skip out on S because he just doesn't feel good enough. And now having heard the stuff about the tournament, now he's even more like angsty about everything,
Yeah.
and a large part because of his concern for his friend.
Hmm. 'Cause, yeah. Meanwhile, Lalonga is getting wrapped up in like the return to the Speed Force. As he's like, I can go faster, and like he's seeing like ghosts of Adam as his desire to like go faster and reunite with the Speed Force is it's getting to his head. He's definitely getting into like the I'm gonna join the villain side mindset.
He is this. It is Orochimaru and Sasuke. Like this is the arc. This is the exact
Yeah,
same thing.
this is the arc minus the curse mark. This is the same thing. Although you could say that the Speed Force was the curse mark.
Yeah. Next up is going to be the Sasuke retrieval arc after the tournament. Nick, hey,
It's all coming together.
oh my God, this is Naruto all along.
It is. If anybody doesn't know what the Speed Force is, you need to go read The Flash, and then you'll learn what the Speed Force is and why it's the weirdest thing ever. But
The
Speed
thing that
Force
lets people
aside,
go into back in time.
uh, it's it's hard to explain.
All right, whatever.
Think
Who
of it
cares?
like the midichlorians from Star
Okay.
Wars, except for going fast.
Please, Nick, the midichlorians aren't a thing anymore. Get caught up on canon.
Think of it like the midichlorians from Star Wars, except for about going fast. It both does
Alright.
and does not exist, and possibly is God, but also possibly isn't. Probably isn't, but
Uh,
maybe it is.
we also now have some more backstory with Adam. What is Adam's real name again? Do you remember?
No.
Okay.
I remember him as blue-haired dude who wears a suit most of the
Yeah.
time, and then, Adam, Matador of Love.
Anyways, we see Adam back when he was younger, when he was still friends with Joe and Cherry, yeah, at the height of like their rebellious phases.
Yeah.
Um, Adam has
Back
to
when they
go
were
to
like hanging out on deserted
yeah.
piers together and being angsty teenagers.
Yep.
Um, Adam apparently got caught skating. We learn a little bit more about it later, but he has
His
to
dad's total
leave to go
fucking
to
dick.
America. Yeah, his dad's fucking dick, but he has to leave to go to America after presumably like doing some asshole thing while they were skating or something. Because Cherry and Joe were already like kind of pissed at him, like, "What the fuck was that about?"
It seems like he
Uh,
probably did. This is the first time he did like the hug of love and sent someone to the hospital.
yeah, very possible, very probable. But he had to go to America right after that, so like that was the last time they were friends, essentially.
Yep.
Uh, we learn a little bit later that yeah, his dad apparently like caught him skating or something and
Or
fucking burned his
found a
board.
skateboard. Yeah. What a shitty fucking father.
Right? I mean, what a shitty fucking family. He
Yeah.
like whatever his actual name is, like he has this weird fucking council of the ants or whatever the fuck they are that he like goes to
Yeah.
like debrief on shit that happens, and they're all like, "Remember your position in society, exploit people." Like
Yep.
fucking his ants are weird, dude.
One of those ants is actually, fun fact, Hanami from Jakuchara.
Really? I mean, I
No,
know. I
no.
believe that. Honestly, I'd believe it.
um,
I thought you meant the voice actress, to be fair.
no.
I
Actually,
knew
I
it
don't-
wasn't
I
the
don't
same
know.
character. I thought you said the voice actress, but no, he was still.
So, um, because his board was just completely destroyed when he was younger, means that now he's gonna make his butler take the fall
Yeah,
for
For
being
perjury.
a corrupt motherfucker for perjury.
right. Because there's this whole side plot about like politics and shit that like I guess is actually important. It suddenly became important in this episode because another member of the Diet, I guess, got arrested for corruption, I think.
Yeah,
And somehow that ties into Adam has committed perjury in some way. I guess he like defended him in like a legal standing or like
could
said
be.
this dude definitely didn't do it. Like perjury is lying under oath. It's not just like I
So
told a
something,
lie.
yeah, something happened.
You have to like be sworn to only tell the truth and then tell a lie.
I think perjury is also if you like sign or if you forge a doc. Well, no, that'd be forgery.
That would be forgery. Perjury is legit like only if
Yeah.
I think it's only for spoken word and you have to be like sworn that I am only telling the truth.
Well,
So, like
this is
usually
also
it's only for
like the American system too.
that is true. This is only for the American system.
It could have like a
Um,
broader scope in Japan.
And we could be wrong about this because neither of us are lawyers.
Anyways, perjury, like he lied under oath. That's perjury. We know
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
what perjury means at the very least. So
Right.
possibly he lied. Most likely he lied about something.
Yeah,
At
we
some
didn't
point
we
in
didn't
time.
need, we didn't know this was happening, or at the very least, like I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't think it'd be relevant. So like, it's very possible that he just off screen lied under oath, and like it didn't matter until now.
This did happen
Uh,
off screen. We know something was happening, at least politics wise, because last episode, the same character, the red haired lady, shows up and is like, "Hey, I'm onto you, motherfucker."
Yeah, I thought it was gonna have more to do with like the whole cops who showed up to like shut down
I
S.
mean, it still could be. We don't
I
know
thought that's
why.
what we were doing.
I don't know what he lied about. We don't know.
Right. Yeah,
I
maybe
just
he
know that
lied
he
about his
doesn't
involvement with
care.
S.
He just wants the tournament to go on. While he's being told, like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna go to jail," he's like, "But this tournament, though."
Right, but those
So many
boys
applicants.
though.
Not all the applicants are boys. Maybe.
It's true.
At least I don't know.
But he wants to get this handled as Eve, Brandon.
Yeah, God. So
Uh,
yeah, he's gonna have his butler take the fall
Yeah,
because one day his daddy broke his board.
right. And his butler didn't do anything to stop it, even though he probably couldn't have. But yeah, so Adam instead decides like I'm gonna go show up to my tournament in fucking style. As soon as he jumped out of that plane wearing the fucking
Oh my God, that
the
was fucking
skydiving
great.
vest, I knew he was gonna have a heart on that parachute when he pulled it. I was so like, as soon as he jumped out of the plane, I was like, that parachute's gonna have a fucking heart. It pull the string, bam,
damn.
giant ass heart.
Adam
Knew
is
it.
so fucking extra. I love the fact that Anime villains can be so fucking extra, and it's the best fucking thing ever.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Adam is no exception.
That man knows how to make an entrance.
He is a showman.
That man doesn't just go places; he arrives.
Nick, he could have been part of the national Japan team, but his dad wouldn't let him. He had to be a fucking lawyer and then lie under oath.
Oh my god. In like a different world, Adams has like the perfect backstory to be like a really cool underground skater who's not a dickhead. Where like he comes from a super like stodgy old school tradition. His dad wouldn't let him skate. He had to go be a lawyer. But by night, he puts on the mask and he's Adam, the best fucking
Matador.
skater. Like in a different world, he's like the most popular cool skater around instead of being like a giant fucking pedo.
Well, he's still everyone still thinks he's a cool skater though.
I
While
mean, they
being a
do.
fucking weirdo.
Right. But he could be like the Tony Hawk of the Japanese skating scene instead of being like the Harvey Weinstein of the Japanese skating scene.
Oh no, this is true. Or who sends a bunch of people to the hospital? I don't know.
I don't
Some
know.
other guy. Oh,
Luis
oh,
Suarez.
I was gonna say Chris Brown.
No, that too. He doesn't send guys to the hospital, Brandon. Just Rihanna.
Yeah. Well, actually, other women too, if I remember right.
Other women too.
Yeah. There's a long list.
Right.
Anyways, but yeah, that was
Would you
the
say
episode.
allegedly for that? I don't know. I don't know if we'd say allegedly for that one.
I mean, he did send Rihanna to the hospital.
You got convicted of that one, right? We have to say allegedly. That just happened.
I don't think he got convicted. We just know it happened.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think
that
we
was.
finish it- Yeah, so go ahead. Let's just move on.
I was just gonna say that was the episode, like you said.
Yeah. We have Mopi Reki. We've got Langley waiting for like a chance to just fucking race again. He's
Right.
getting the drug. He's fucking ready. He's gonna break his arm.
Yes.
Possibly his head. Oh shit, we gotta see with his mom, who's like, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Where like he finally made friends. He's so happy. Hopefully he
After his
doesn't catch
dad died,
yeah,
and he was taking
hopefully
away
he
from
doesn't catch the same
snowboarding.
fucking bug of his dad.
That's
trying
not
to
a
be
that's not a huge
crazy.
fucking flag. Not
Yeah.
a giant fucking flag that Langley's about to get like badly hurt.
Maybe that's what happens. Langley gets hurt, and then Reki takes revenge.
Maybe.
Maybe that's how it all comes together. Who knows? We've got 5 episodes left, or just about.
I fully expect at some point like Langley's gonna get hurt during this tournament, whether he's
Yeah.
skating Adam or not. He's gonna get hurt, probably doing some like wild ass trick. And then his mom's gonna be like, "No more skating. You're gonna fucking die, just like your dad." I bet that's what we're gonna find out. Is his dad died while snowboarding?
It has to be, or else like, yeah, your dad just died of cancer. It's totally normal but unfortunate thing. I guess
the second time they just said cancer in an anime.
Wait, what? Really? Wait,
No,
when was the first time?
It was it Wonder Egg or no? What was it?
No, yeah, it was Wonder Egg.
Was it where
Wait,
they were
was it
like they
Wonder
just
Egg?
straight up? Was it somebody? It was something recent that we watched for
think
ABC.
it was
where one of the
Wonder
characters
Egg.
just straight out came out and said like, and then they got cancer and died.
Yeah, I think it was Wonder Egg because that was the first girl, right? It was the first girl. It was like, yeah, my friend, she had cancer, and then I had no friends left behind.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The first girl that our main character saves. I think that she
Yeah.
has cancer. Yeah.
hmm
Or is it just gonna be a disease? Nick? He just died of a disease. It was the disease.
They said
Who knows?
cancer. They said it. They said cancer.
So yeah, that's Infinity. We'll see where it goes. We're at the height of drama,
We
interpersonal
are.
drama, the tournament drama, political drama. This show has everything. It's got the gambit.
Other personal drama between Joe and Cherry and Adam as they're
Oh, that's
like,
true.
I need to beat the shit out of him so he can be my friend again. They have their own like Sasuke retrieval arc going down.
Oh my god, this is actually just like fucking.
This is
Naruto.
so in our younger kids are doing like the original Sasuke retrieval arc, and Joe, Cherry, and Adam are doing like Shippuden Sasuke retrieval arc.
No, they're doing the Orochimaru one.
I guess so, yeah.
Where fucking Jiraiya and Tsunade are like, yeah, that our friend over there, like, he's fucking crazy. He, like, tried to eat kids again. Keep fighting them with their snake tongue.
Oh, Orochimaru and your weird tongue jutsus.
Oh, god damn it.
I can't believe they let him be like a fucking leader of a troop later, or leader of a squad.
They did?
Yeah,
Who's he?
fucking
Well, he wasn't weird back. He wasn't weird yet.
right. But I mean, still, he got to lead fucking children,
Oh
dude.
my god, it was fucking Anko. Anko. It was
Yeah,
Anko. Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Anko
That was Anko's
and
team.
her two friends. I don't remember if we even
It
learned
doesn't,
their names.
it doesn't fucking matter who their two
Right.
friends are. Did
It was
Tsunade ever
fucking-
have a team? I don't remember if she has a team.
I don't remember.
Because Jiraiya has who's Jiraiya have?
Doesn't he have a fourth Hokage?
Did he? I think so. Oh, maybe.
Doesn't he? I thought he did. I thought that's like was
Yeah.
the fucking line of connection between them all.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I guess it was. And then Jiraiya dies.
Right. After he teaches fourth Hokage's son, Naruto.
Yep. What were we on again? Oh yeah, it's Infinity. Yeah, it's just got all the
Infinity.
drama. It's got all the drama.
All the drama, all the Sasuke retrieval arcs. We're doing it all.
There's also a cool little parallel too between like the first group and the second group. Where the second group, I guess you can include Shadow, but it's Mia, Reiki, and Langley. It's kind of there's some similarities going on, where each group is kind of losing one of their own into the Speed Force. And
I guess you can kind of include Shadow as like Joe in that like he's trying to become more manly to impress the girl that he likes. Although we
I was
don't know that
thinking
that
more
was
like
what
Reiki
Joe's
being like
backstory,
Joe.
but still.
Because Joe like
That too.
is like because Joe asked or Reiki asked Joe for some help, so like there's that connection.
Right. I just
Me and
appreciate
Cherry
Shadow
don't
making fucking
Shadow's
making
great.
development in his life.
Shadow's
Where he was like,
great.
I found a place where I could be more manly because you said you like manly guys. Wait for me. You'll see soon that like I could be the person you like. And I'm like, you know what? Good on you for making development in your personal life, dude.
But man, who would love Raycoom? This man's just Raycoom.
I mean, still though, like
Raycoom.
I feel for the dude when he's not like being Shadow. I like the dude when he's being regular.
At least he doesn't act like Raycoom. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Raycoom was an idiot.
Regular Shadow acts like a nice dude, a solid fucking, cares about his job, dude. I can appreciate that much.
All right. Let's go move on and let's talk about Jakuchara, another show with political drama.
All right. Kind of.
It's Aoi's America, Nick. Aoi won. Who said Aoi would win? I forget. Did you say?
I
you
don't
would win?
remember. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I don't remember
anymore.
either.
I should have looked it up.
We were both like on the line. We were on the fence.
Yeah,
I think I ended up going with Mimimi and you went with Aoi.
I think so. I know we
I
definitely
think-
split at the end. I know
we did.
you had one, I had the other, and we were both very like hesitant to throw our hat like definitively into one or the other.
I locked in. I was hesitant, but I locked in. Probably I was wrong. If I did vote for Mimimi, I don't remember. Someone will. Oh, no one will look it up.
No one will look. We
Yeah.
don't have an audience.
Anyways, Mimimi loses by a lot. Actually, I think she
Yeah.
gets fucking crushed. If I
It was
remember
like
right,
300 votes.
She gets about 100, and then Hinami Aoi gets about 400ish.
Yeah.
By just copying their platform,
Right. In like the worst decision of all time.
which is kind of weird because we were told that this was a bad platform to like
Yeah.
promise AC to everyone.
And that's why I was so upset that like they didn't just immediately go on the offensive about it. Because Aoi basically comes out and says like, I'm gonna do like these are all issues that I care about. After making first she starts out with a joke where she's like, I bet all of you are thinking that none of this fucking matters, and you're right. And I'm like, that's a great thing to lead in with. This election is bullshit. Like that definitely engenders confidence that like you're gonna try and actually like do stuff for me. I definitely believe you now that you've said that this doesn't fucking matter. But anyways, she goes into like these are all issues and like lists a whole bunch of issues and includes the electric ball pumps and also like her
AC.
keystone policy. We're going to try and get air conditioners in every classroom, and she brings up the fact that like, oh yeah, the teachers think it couldn't possibly be done, that they're all
Well,
talking
fuck
about
them.
from their air conditioned rooms because there's like 2 fucking teachers rooms in the whole school. But yeah, so she is basically like co-opted the platform of Mimimi of we're going to put AC in all of the buildings, which they said literally an episode ago is infeasible. We even said that we were just straight out lying to the first years about it because we know that there's no possible way you could do it. All Mimimi has to do is get up there in front of everybody and be like,
just flip her thing.
Yeah, be like, you just said you're gonna get ACs for the entire school. How the fuck are you gonna pay for that? Like, we all know you can't afford this. This is dangerously fiscally irresponsible. Like, this is
Nick, do you think they
ridiculous.
know the word fiscally?
I mean, still though, like, oh, it upset me so much that this was Aoi's attack was like, I'm gonna co-opt your platform, and you didn't just immediately fucking turn it on her for like how bad of a platform it actually was.
We were lying. Well, she can't really go up and say. At least she promised the first years already, so she can't
I
exactly
mean,
say we were lying.
you don't just say you were lying. Like, honestly, this is the thing. Like, if you can int your base but pick up a stronger one off the back of it, I would absolutely fucking say do it. Because like, yeah, you're gonna lose all the first years, but you gain all the second and third years who are like, yeah, that's clearly not fucking possible, and you've just promised that like that's the thing you're gonna stake your career on. Like, you're just straight up lying to me. Like, I'm gonna vote for the chick who at least acknowledges like you're lying. I'm gonna go for stuff we can actually achieve that people need. Like, yeah, the ball pumps are important, but this chick just lied to you about air conditioning. Do you think she's also gonna get you the fucking ball pump? Like, I give a shit. Like, I'm actually in a club that like gives a shit about this. I will actually like work to get this done. Like, I was just it was such a bad fucking speech by Mimimi. Even their whole like AI assistant thing, like they just turned into a comedy routine, but that doesn't make it a good campaign speech, you know?
I mean, I'm okay with it because this is like high school shit. So, well, when Ali said this doesn't really fucking matter, I was like, yeah, it doesn't. Like, this is just high school. Who cares? Just pick whoever the fuck you want.
Right. But I mean, still though, like if you're gonna try and run like a serious campaign, like run a serious campaign at least. I don't know. It just wasn't.
Nick, we cannot have air conditioning for the 1%, Nick. It needs to be equally distributed out to everyone.
You up there,
Fuck the
in your
teachers.
golden towers. That was your time. This is our time.
But anyways, Aoi ends up winning. Mimi loses, but she's not like super down about it. At least that we can see in this episode.
Yeah.
She is like not really visibly upset, but like she's like, yeah, I lost. Oh well, I'll move on. They're both like, yeah, we'll move on and like try again next time, which is a healthy thing to have at least.
Well, kind of.
We just what trying again next time or
I more meant like the way that she goes about it. I wouldn't say that Mimi is healthy in the way that she like copes with her loss. Because like
how
she
so?
doesn't really. Like she never really copes with it, as far as we could tell. Maybe I'm reading into it. At least like for what I could see, it was basically like I lost the presidential campaign, and so now I'm just gonna like throw myself into competing and like all of these other things because like I don't want to think about my loss. Like I don't want to acknowledge like I tried really hard and didn't win, and like I mean maybe she just genuinely doesn't care, but like you got to give yourself a moment to be sad about it. Like you got to give your moment. You got to give yourself a moment to be like, that fucking sucked. Like
uh,
I fucking tried. I fucking tried so hard
yeah.
and we didn't win. Like just be sad. Just be sad for a day and be like, it was sad. It was shitty. I'm gonna feel bad today and I'm gonna move on tomorrow. But I got to feel bad today so I can move on tomorrow. 'Cause, like you just let that sit inside you and like never really let the sadness out. Like it gets fucking toxic. You know, like it gets toxic inside you.
That's why I did mention in this episode we don't see that really happening. Like we just see her trying more in other things,
Yeah.
and we're not done with this arc yet. I don't think. And what I think is going to end up happening is that it is going to get to her next episode, and our main character will have to try to like a way to help her cope with it. At least that's
Yeah.
the way that's the direction I want it to go into. Because you are
Yeah,
right.
that's what it seems to be like implying.
Yeah, which I hope
There was
they
like
do.
there was a moment at the end where they were like, and then the next day, like Mimi was different the next day, or like didn't show
Wait,
up or something. I don't remember
wait,
what
really?
exactly it was.
Oh, okay. I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
there was like a one line like right at the end. It was like the last sentence was like, but the next day everything was different kind of
Well, I
thing.
must have been looking at my phone. Um,
Um,
because we also do get some backstory between her and the little one, the short kid.
oh
And
yeah,
basically, like,
Tama maybe
Tama, yeah,
yeah,
Tama, or Toma or Toma.
something like that.
And she basically tells our main character about like how they ended up being friends and how Mimi just like went up to her, just started teasing her just because she wanted
Right.
to, or was it because she wanted to? Because someone asked her to. I think it's Aoi was like, "Hey, go hang out with that girl."
No,
And
it
like,
was Mimi wanted to. Mimi was like,
okay,
this girl doesn't seem to like fit in with people. Like, how do I get her to fit in? And now it was like,
okay.
maybe she just doesn't want to. And Mimi was like, yeah, but like, you gotta have some friends. Like, being alone forever is not great.
Okay, that's how it was. Okay, I'd kind of confused everything and I'd forgotten. So yeah, Mimi's like, I'm just gonna go hang out with her, and then she
Yeah.
goes and harasses her. Uh, oh, Mimi.
Yeah.
But then they become friends, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah, very a la how you became my friend in that you just sort of showed up one day and you're like, we're friends now, and I'm like, I guess these are
I mean, I
developments.
fucking sat on the same. We had what I had. I think I was told to sit in that desk at that.
I think I don't
table.
remember.
There
I
weren't
forget
many.
if we had assigned
There
seats.
were not many tables that in that chemistry class.
No, there were not.
I think there's just enough for all of us.
I think. I don't
Oh, I
remember.
also sat because of our African friend.
Khalid.
Oh God, Khalid, yeah. And it's okay to say African because he's from Sierra Leone or Sierra
Yes.
Leone. Yeah.
I never know how many of those vowels I have to pronounce in Sierra Leone. I don't know if it's Sierra Leone or
Leone?
Sierra Leone.
I think it's French.
I believe it is.
But anyways, yeah, Khalid was a cool guy. God, I miss him.
He was. Great dude.
Anyways,
Salt of the earth. Miss him to death.
yeah, we get the relationship building between Tama and Mimi, and now they're friends, and we're watching Tama watch Mimi try her hardest at the track and field, which I didn't know she was part of. Or she was
Yeah.
part of- No, she was part of because it makes sense because she had that one Kohai that's part of track and field.
Yeah. Mimi, I knew. I didn't know Aoi was a part of track and field.
I think I remember a mention of it at some point that she was. She does a bunch of
I
shit.
don't. Yeah.
And also,
So apparently a
we-
very involved human being.
we also get yeah, she has a lot of extracurriculars. We also find out what's going to happen with the whole president stuff, and that's probably nothing.
Right. It really
Real-
doesn't come up again post like the campaign
It
for the elections finishing.
No, because it did just finish, so
Right.
who knows?
It has been
Um,
like 2 days, so maybe like Aoi hasn't assumed the position yet, but that was not a great way of phrasing that, but like
I fucking love
you
that
know
phrase.
whatever. So yeah, maybe she hasn't like taken on being student council president,
Right.
but I don't know. I also don't know like Japanese high schools are also often present like the student council president as like a very serious, involved position.
I don't know how
But
true
at
that
the
is though.
Yeah, I don't know how true that actually is. So it's very possible that this show will present like maybe more of a realistic depiction of it, where like you don't really have to do all that much.
Yeah, I just show up, sign a document, leave.
Like like once a week you have a meeting, and like the other people like present the information that they've collected from their documents that they got over the past week, and you're like, all right, this is the decision of like the result of all of these documents. Everybody's agreed. All right, let's go the fuck home. Like
Truth be
maybe it's like a
told, I don't know
20-minute
how,
once a week thing.
Class presidents work in American high school either.
Right.
I
All I
paid
know
no
is at some
fucking
point they have to
attention.
settle on. They have to do prom at the end, and that's all that I really know.
Really? I have no clue.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we get? We get some more teasing of the Wallflower and main character ship.
Oh,
Main
right.
character's now reading the books, finally.
Yep.
Reading the books.
Actually, kind of
um,
enjoying them.
Wait, the books?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you were enjoying them.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, main character is actually
Is it-
enjoying
yeah.
the books, the Andy books.
Yep, he likes them. He knows that he learned that there's going to be like a film festival or a new film about the book, but he does
Mm-hmm.
not just doesn't have the courage yet to ask Wallflower out, despite the fact that she's like totally into it. Like she's
Does
so
he not? Oh
fucking
my
ready.
god. No, wait, does
Does
he?
he?
I thought he
I
does.
don't think he does.
Oh, I don't remember anymore. I'm
All
gonna
I
be
know
honest.
is
The
that
whole
she's
time,
totally-
I know that I was saying just fucking ask her the whole time. I was like,
Just fucking get to
fucking
it.
say it. It's so obvious. It's so obvious that she wants to go. Like, oh my god. I wanted him to ask her. I don't remember now if he did or didn't.
Don't think he does. He will ask her at some point though.
He better. He fucking better, dude. Oh my god.
He'll struggle. He'll do it. Mostly because I think it'll happen. Because I think that's maybe the next big thing. Hopefully it'll happen. Who knows? At this point, like I just hope it happens.
Yeah,
Because
seriously.
yes, we're not like over or overreacting to like how ready this girl was to just go out on that fucking date to go watch that movie. If not for the movie, or if not for him, for that fucking movie, because she's just down.
Yeah.
She lights up like a fucking candle.
As soon as he's like, yeah, there's this movie about like the Andy
she
thing,
just
and she's
finished
immediately
seconds.
just like, in Shibuya. Like I know exactly where it is.
And she
It's on
at this
Wednesday.
time tomorrow.
and then proceeds to like look a little sheepish, but like eyes up over the book, and it's very clearly like, I want you to ask me. Oh my god, the whole time I was like, this is your fucking green light, dude. Like, this girl is going to say yes. Like, just fucking produce the words, will you go to the movies with me?
I really hope he just says, "I hope you have fun."
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I would love it.
I could not. I could not even if he did.
Uh, let's see. But that's basically the episode. There's a lot of dealing with Mimi, and next episode might be dealing with more of Mimi's issues.
Right.
But we'll see how that goes. We could like drop that kind of line for a bit and go with someone else, because we haven't dealt with Brunette's issues all the way yet either. Because
Right.
she may or may not hook up with the one popular kid. Chances are she's gonna get fucking rejected.
Yeah, we never actually saw them like, because she was practicing playing Attack Fam a whole bunch to like play with him.
Don't see that.
And we never
don't
actually
see,
saw like what happens with that. So maybe
Yeah.
at some point, now that we're done with the election stuff, like we'll check back in with her and be like, hey, how's that Attack Fam stuff coming? You played with him yet? Maybe they'll be like fucking best friends now, or maybe she won't have played with him yet, and that'll be like a thing we get to see soon.
Yeah, or probably not because we've got 5 or 6 episodes left.
All right.
There are like a couple of volumes to the novel, so like there's a lot more stuff that can happen. Whether or not
Since we have
we'll
so
get to
few
it,
episodes, I mean, maybe it's just because it's in the manga or the light novel or whatever it is. Like,
I doubt we're gonna get to it.
I
'Cause-
the one thing, because like they mentioned again the whole like, I guess Aoi is dating that other guy, her campaign manager, and like they brought it up again, and we talked
bring-
last week about how like I just don't fucking care, like I just don't like that as an arc. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that arc. I want to do something else.
It is this episode. It's this show's killing bites moment. Or every episode you gotta mention that a little bit.
Right.
Whether or not we get to it, I don't fucking know.
I hope we don't. I hope it's just like we're doing it because like it's in the light novel, but like it's not gonna be the thing we do next. I think that's bad direction, but that's beside the point.
I don't think it's the next
maybe
thing
it's.
we're gonna do. I think
I hope
it's
it's
gonna
not.
be White-Haired Girl.
I hope we do. Yeah, I hope we do White Haired Girl and Andy books in the movie in fucking Shibuya, and like going out with the girl for the first time. I hope we do that. I don't want to do fucking
I mean, it's
double
gonna
date with
happen.
what's his name. Fucking, would just be so upset if we do that arc. I just don't care. I just do not fucking care.
Well, that arc happens at some point, most likely in the light novel. I don't know if we'll see it happen in the show,
Right.
but it does happen. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
read it.
I mean, almost certainly, because like the main character will almost certainly end up with the main girl, the fucking sociopath. But like, we're not going to get there in the anime. So like, all I
Probably not.
really care about for ABC is the story they present in the anime that we see. And what I could say is like, for the anime that they're presenting me right now, I just don't want to do that arc, dude. Like, I just don't care. Show me anything else. Show me brown hair playing Attack Fam. Show me fucking the popular kid getting better. Show me him like fucking two-stocking our main character. Like, show me anything. Just don't show me this fucking is Aoi dating this popular kid arc. I just don't care.
The arc is 2 sentences long. Yes or no,
Right.
and that ends.
It should be, yeah, 2 sentences long. The main character doesn't even necessarily really like have romantic feeling towards Aoi right now, or at least we haven't seen him have romantic feeling towards her. So like, it's not even a compelling arc in that way, because like, if it's, you know, are you dating Aoi? And he's like, yes. Our main character will be like, interesting.
Okay. Yeah, because like even in the show itself, everyone keeps mentioning it, and he always has this puzzled face. Like, what if he? Basically, what happens is a character will mention it, and his face will just say, "Why do people keep telling me this?"
It is, I mean, it is a question. Why do people keep telling him it right now? Because, yeah, he doesn't have that much of a connection to Aoi. I guess maybe it's just one of those things where people look at it and they're like, just sort of ponder it out loud, and he just happens to be in the vicinity, but
I guess
still,
so.
it's.
At this point, like they've hung out so fucking often that like, and then even publicly, the fucking popular kid knows too. He's like, yeah, they hang out a bunch of times too.
I
Like,
guess
he
so, yeah.
knows.
Yeah,
You don't care.
right.
But that's the show for now. I think we're gonna get Mimi and then the white-haired girl as the final arc, and we'll see what happens with the anime there. We're gonna go
Yeah.
see that Andy movie, and I wonder who Andy's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like a Western author. Like, who is it actually supposed to be, or if it's just like a random fucking author?
Right. I
Not
don't
like random,
know.
but like a made up one, like a made up
Right.
Western one, or if it's supposed to be like a parody of some dude.
I guess we'll see. Like, if we actually get to see the movie, maybe we'll be able to tell. Because like so far, all we really know is that one made up phrase.
Oh right, didn't you look it up and you couldn't find anything?
I think I did, and I couldn't
Okay.
find anything.
If it had that made up phrase, I feel like it's like mystery novels. I feel like if there's ever a girl that like is into books, it's
Mhm.
usually mystery novels in an anime.
It is usually mystery novels.
Yeah, like I can't like think of anybody else. I'm only right now. I'm thinking of the brown hair chick from Hyoka. She was super
Mhm.
into it too. Except in that show they like say the actual names of the authors, but it's probably
Right.
because they're all like in the there's no like copyright on them anymore.
Yeah, they were all older authors.
Yeah,
Do they ever bring up any of the like books that fucking Pansy was reading in Orisuki?
I don't think so. But she's also fucking crazy, so it's probably mystery novels too.
Right.
It's actually
Or
just
fucking
a,
how to
how to stalk.
how to imprison your lover, how to trap them in a loveless marriage.
Okay. How to put holes in a condom without the noticing.
How to hide your gigantic fucking rack.
Okay. It's a lot of body tape. Body tape, right? It's body tape?
I think so.
Yeah.
I wonder how much she has to spend on that every month.
Yeah, because I feel like if you were to use it, it'd be a little disgusting, because like you'd probably get
Yeah.
really sweaty. Yeah.
Hmm.
But anyways, that's anime book club for this week. I was
Yeah.
Jakushara. Fun shows.
Yep.
We'll see where they go. Yeah.
Continue to be pretty good shows, good stories.
Yeah.
This is definitely a season where like there is less to say about it, like or less to say about our shows artistically. Skinfinity is like kind of the only one to talk about, and
Yeah. It's got
most
a
of the time, like
better direction than some other shows.
yeah,
terms of, like,
most of the
art
time we would kind of
style.
say the same stuff in terms of like the art style. I would just talk about Tony Hawk American Wasteland, and
Yep.
Brian would probably just talk about the colors.
Oh god, the colors are so nice. Yeah, Jakushara, it's an anime.
Right.
That's how it looks. It's an anime. Darkstone, yeah, like it has its own visual style. Like you can tell that a Darkstone show from like a different type of show. But like
Yes.
for Jakushara, like if you showed me 10 different like harem high school shows, I'd be like, they're the same show. It's the same
Yeah.
character. It's the
Pretty
same main
much.
character.
I mean,
What
the only
this one
difference
shows up
between
that
them
one.
is generally like, I don't remember. Does our main character have black hair? If he has black
Brown
hair,
hair.
then they're all like
Brown
the same.
hair.
Okay. Yeah, black or brown hair is like pretty much the only difference between harem MCs usually.
In Orisuke, like he looks like fucking Kirito, but
does.
he's memorable at least because he's just a giant fucking dick. I love him so much.
He looks like Kirito right up until we get actually Kirito. In the form of what the fuck was his name? Lamp?
Oh my god, no hose! It's fucking hose. Why would you? Why
Hose.
lamp?
Because I remember they were both of the dudes were fucking like objects.
Yes, but they were both like water objects. So he's hose is hose, and he's like
Mm-hmm.
the thing that you put water on with flowers.
Watering can?
Yeah, watering can, or
Okay.
the Japanese equivalent of watering can, of course.
Right. Yeah.
But Hose, I think, is actual Hose.
literally is. Yeah, I think he was actually Hose, and it was literally Kirito, both in looks and in voice actor.
In looks, I thought he had glasses.
No, he had no glasses. He had black spiky hair, short black spiky hair, a la Kirito.
Oh, okay. I can't okay, Nick. They look so similar that I've like completely confused them with the other one. I can't.
I mean,
think
they
his face-
look almost identical. They are very similar characters. Hose and Watering Can were like the same character basically, except for Hose was like a good character basically,
Oh
or
my
a
god.
popular
Okay.
person, I should say.
I would say our main character looks more like Kirito because like actually
Does
don't
he?
know what Kirito looks anymore. In my
I mean,
mind,
to be fair, I'm not
Kirito
looking
has-
at it. This is purely just from memory, but I remember that Hose was Kirito's voice actor.
Yes, but like for Kirito like had the
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Our main character
yeah.
looks more like Kirito. Yeah.
like he had less cowlicks or whatever they're
Yeah.
called. Yeah.
And the hair, he had black hair, not whatever color Hose has. Purple. Dark purple?
Purplish. Yeah, dark purple.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Anyways,
I don't remember how we got onto this. Something about colors, probably.
main characters looking
Oh,
the
no,
same,
books.
being dumb. Oh, also books.
Was it books?
It was.
Oh,
I don't
no,
know. Anyways,
I don't remember. We brought up
ABC
Horazuki several times today.
anime book club's done. We didn't do our intros. I'm Brandon.
I'm Nick.
Let's talk
Lots of
about
things.
what we want to sell it to. Yeah, go ahead, Nick. Or do you want me to sell it first?
I'll go.
Okay,
I'm
go.
gonna sell out to the television program Finding Your Roots. I've been watching it a lot recently. They do like genealogical research for celebrities, and it's a really good show. A lot of the white people are the same in that like we
Slave
trace
owner.
your line back 50 years old, 50 years. No, it's always Charlemagne. We trace your line
Oh,
back to Charlemagne is usually where it is. For black people, it's always like, let me tell you all about how your family was slaves, and it's super fucking depressing.
I know. I think it
Um,
was for Oh God, what's the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Larry David.
Larry David. He was, yeah, he did have a slave owning like great whatever grandfather.
Mm.
And he was like, did they murder him? And they're like, yeah, they murdered him. He was like, nice.
There've been a few of
Um,
those.
yeah.
They have traced a few of them back to like the Civil War, where they're like, yeah, your great something grandfather, yeah,
Was kind of a
he
dick.
owned several slaves. Fought for the Civil War or something like that, and they're always like, yeah, I don't feel so bad that this dude is dead.
Fought for the Civil War. Which side? Oh, you don't want to know that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, they are generally for like American celebrities. I think they do like a couple of international ones, like they did Scarlett Johansson's family, who are Polish, I
Polish?
believe,
Yeah.
or German.
Eastern
They were Jewish
European.
people in the time of the Holocaust, and so like they talk
Oh,
about like how
they
her
escaped.
family, like her line of her family, like immigrated to America, but like a large portion of like their relatives at the time didn't, and yeah, they didn't make it.
So that's unfortunate.
Um, it was very sad, but it's one of those things where like you uh it makes the past real because it's not just like it's not anonymous past people, it's like
Yeah,
these people's actual family,
it
and like you
connects
could
it.
see how much it affects them. Like they did one with Nas, the recording artist,
Oh, cool.
and he like they trace his line back to like his great something grandparent, and they like had the bill of sale for one of them, and he was like, this is $830 for a human being. This is my grandmother, got sold for $830, and I have more than that in my pocket right now. And like you could tell like how much that thought like affected him,
I
and they
thought
showed him like
Nas
this
was
is,
like Middle Eastern. I'm actually thinking of someone else.
I think you think it's somebody else,
Yeah.
but they showed him like the plantation they worked on. He was like, I want to buy this like this plot of land now. Like I want to buy this and like make a memorial to like my great
That's cool.
grandparents. Like
Did you end up doing it?
I don't know. I don't know if he actually
Oh,
ended up buying it, but like
depends
you
if it
could
was
definitely tell
viable.
like how much that connection to the past, like knowing about slavery and actually like knowing what it meant to your family are very different concepts.
Right.
So like having the past contextualized like that and like seeing how it affects these people, it's really cool. I really like it. It's called Finding Your Roots. It's very interesting. What would you like to sell it to?
I'm gonna sell it to another board game, a fun party game, similar to, well, depending on your crowd, it's similar to Cards Against Humanity. It is a
Hmm.
game called Say Anything. The concept of the game is someone pulls a card out of a pile. They read one of the questions that they like on the card. Everyone writes down what they think will be the best response for the person reading the question out. The person who reads the question gets to choose which card they like in secret, and everyone else gets to vote, gets to put points on which one they think the questioner will choose. And you distribute points out that way. I say it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity because you can have some awful things written down.
Yeah.
And they can be fucking funny. It can also be really
Hmm.
fucking shitty, but mostly fucking funny. I mentioned last week that in my Sell to Dominion, that we had met the creators of a couple of board games. This is another one where we met the creator. We were
Yep.
playing this at MagFest. He came by and he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're playing my game. Can I take a picture of you guys?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." As we were like looking down on our boards, reading what the fuck we had just written for one of the
Yeah.
questions. I don't remember what the question is. I just remember that Nick had something anti-Semitic. I
Oh, I had
had
something very anti-Semitic.
I don't remember my question or my answer either, but it quite possibly could have been a stick figure with a giant dong that I was just trying to
Right.
cover her up.
Yeah.
The only
We
person
had to
who
because like he wanted to take a picture of us like playing the game, so it was a shot of like it was like 6 or 7 of
I think it
us.
was like five of us. It was me, you, Alex, and Alex's girlfriend at the time.
Right.
and oh, maybe Jeffrey.
Maybe Jeffrey. Okay.
I think it was Jeffrey was
Um,
there.
I think so too. But he wanted to take a shot of all of us, and like you had to do that thing where like you looked happy and like you were trying to very slowly move your hand over your board to like cover what you had written, or like at least erase the anti-Semitic parts off of it. Where I was like, I don't feel happy with this photo it's being taken, because like if you post this anywhere and somebody looks at like what I've written, I am so fucked. But it is a fun game. Like,
It's a fun game. You don't have to write anti-Semitic things all the time. Nick just likes it because he's, German.
yeah. Please
He's
remember
not actually
Italian.
German. He's Italian. Lateral move there, Nick.
Right.
Um,
That was a joke.
anyways, yeah, it's a fun game. I played a couple times. It's more in my free day. I think it's more fun when you get drunk and you say some really stupid shit, because like
Yeah.
you just like at some point you can just get into like this cycle where like things just keep getting funnier even though they're not funny at all.
Right.
At some point,
It,
like
it does also have like the great property that I don't think Cards Against Humanity can really have, which is that like you can establish recurring jokes. Because like Cards
You
Against
can-
Humanity, you play the card and then the card is gone, and like you can't really get it again.
you get,
but, like,
you get the
with-
callbacks.
Yeah, with Say Anything, you can get the callbacks, like the callback to the original joke, and then like you can have the callback that changes it slightly, and like you get the full, depending on how long you play for, you can get the full cycle of the callback joke, where like at some point it stops being funny, and then
And
at some
then
point like
It becomes
it gets
really
funny again. Like you get that one moment like later on in the game, like several rounds later, where you're like suddenly there's the perfect question and it's just so fucking funny again.
Oh my god. Also, there's the other side of it, which is because you're not limited to cards, you can basically just say whatever the fuck you want. Like you can say anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you didn't have to say anything. Like I've drawn stuff before, and I've sometimes gotten a lot of points for that too.
Yeah.
It's mostly a stick figure with a massive dong.
It usually
People
is
just really like it. It's just-
a stick figure with 3 legs.
yeah.
But yeah, it is the one like thing that I would say that it has over Cards Against Humanity, and this is something that like it's kind of the reason why we stopped playing Cards Against Humanity, is because like when you're playing Cards Against Humanity, one, you kind of just learn what all the cards are, unless you get like the Has Everything expansion pack where you just can't go through all of the cards and like, or you can't learn all of the cards. At some point playing regular Cards Against Humanity, you just learn what all the cards are. You just know what all the funny cards are.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is that like there are a lot of rounds in Cards Against Humanity that where you're just like, none of my cards are good, so I'm just gonna int this round, and like that's never a satisfying thing to do in like, you know, a humor game. It's like I'm just gonna throw some random shit in and not try and make a joke. Say Anything never has that. There's never a round where like I have to int this joke or int this round, because it's literally just like anything you can think of, you just get to write it down. There are some rounds where you choose to int the round.
Because you
Uh,
just don't have anything good, or someone else just clearly has the best fucking response ever.
Right. Or, you know, your African American friends ask a question about what's the most important thing to African Americans, and you as a white person feel, you know, racially uncomfortable about making a joke. So you write down Martin Luther King Jr. and just know you're not going to win. There are times where, like,
that
you
what you
just
wrote
take
down?
the L. No, Jeffrey
I
took
thought
Martin
so-
Luther King.
No, I thought
Jeffrey
I
took
chose
Martin-
Martin Luther. I think I did MLK.
Oh, did you?
I think
Damn
about
it.
civil rights.
Maybe he took Rosa Parks. He took something. He took another, like, solid, you know,
Possibly.
leader of the black community. And I was like, fuck. Maybe he took
Maybe I chose
Barrio
Malcolm.
from me. I don't remember.
Maybe it did Malcolm X. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, a lot of people wrote like civil rights icons.
I definitely looked at Jeffrey at some point and I was like, this is dangerous for us. This is dangerous territory.
All I know is that I was told my take was spicy, so it may have not been Malcolm X or MLK. Maybe it's something else.
I was
Maybe we're all
tempted to write
reading.
OJ. I was tempted to write OJ to make like a
Oh,
OJ
shit,
didn't
huh?
do it day joke, but I was like, that is a very risky take right now.
All right. Well, yeah, that's anything. It's such a fun game. I highly recommend it. It's not that expensive. I think. Oh shit! Fuck! Oh god damn it! I clicked on something. I clicked on Amelia's stream on accident. I was trying to.
God
click on
damn it.
something different. I need to get rid of that part too. Yeah, buy anything. It's like 30 fucking bucks. Very fun
Yeah.
game. Good party game.
You probably want to
after-
buy some like not magic markers, but like whiteboard markers or like whiteboard
Yeah.
cleaner to go with it, because like the markers kind of suck and the fucking eraser is like non-existent. So So unless you want to like rub off the magic marker with your finger every round, which is kind of what we have to do right now, I would advise buying some like whiteboard markers to go with it. But other than that, like it pretty much comes with everything you want in the box, and it's a
You can
pretty
also
fucking
even
fun
play it
game.
without actually buying the box. So it really like you just need some paper. You don't even have to use
Right.
the questions that are in the box. You can ask your. We've done it multiple times because sometimes we have like cards that don't have really good answer questions, so we just ask whatever questions we want. It's very
Hmm.
versatile, very fun game. I would recommend
Yeah.
it. That's my sellout.
There you go. That's what you got.
Yeah,
This is the end of the end. Is it really
yeah.
the end until we get to the end? The end, 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 end. Said end like 12 times, so clearly we're at the end.